Dr. Todd here, and in this video I want to cover how segment, posture, and movement, those three different categories, all fit together to improving your overall health and getting to the bottom of your problem. This is our traction area. We have all these different pieces of traction equipment. Each one is uniquely designed to be able to help correct a specific spinal or postural problem. This is the Berry translation table. This is used to help reverse when someone's shifted side to side in the head or the torso. This is another view of this table. And this is Trainer Tony, set up in a left head translation, correcting his right translation. So his head shifted to the right, we're shifting him back to the left. And this is Trainer Tony in a seated variation where we're shifting the head from right to left. How's that feel, TT?
Corrective.
This here is a seated unit used to increase or decrease the curve in different parts of the body. In this case, we're going to increase the neck curve. Position that where it's comfortable. This one right here is pulling the head back, and this one right here is bending a forward curve into the cervical spine, exactly what Trainer Tony needs. This here is called the Denneral table. There's different blocks that can be stacked together, kind of like the game of Tetris, so we can mirror image or reverse the abnormal posture in someone's spine. And this is Trainer Tony getting his curve back. TT, how does it feel?
Incredible.
So in order for Trainer Tony to correct his abnormal posture, not just the head shift, but also the loss of cervical curve, there's a series of exercises he'll be doing in this area, in the exercise area. This is the postural component, segment, posture, movement. Trainer Tony is using the neck trigger point tool and a variety of other things to create mobility, warm up the tissues prior to doing traction. He's gonna also do some postural corrective exercises back here as well to help mirror image or reverse the types of abnormal postures that he has by activating the opposing muscles. Here, Trainer Tony is going to shift his head from right to left. He's watching himself in the mirror to make sure that the movement is pure and accurate. Then he will do this against resistance, so we'll have a band on the head and he'll be shifting against resistance. That's the next progression. Here, Trainer Tony's going through some mobility work with a foam roller in his thoracic spine. This is one of several exercises that have been uniquely prescribed to him to help correct not only his abnormal posture, but also lead into the abnormal movement. This exercise Trainer Tony's doing is called reach, roll, and lift. This is an activation exercise, part of what would be considered a movement correction for a movement dysfunction. Remember, segment, posture, movement, we're fixing abnormal movement with this specific type of exercise. Following a series of mobility exercises and then stability exercises, Trainer Tony is going to pattern that movement and load it with an overhead kettlebell press. Very nice. Rounding out a comprehensive strategy of segment posture movement, Trainer Tony is going to be pressing this kettlebell to reinforce a healthy movement pattern by loading and pressing overhead. So first off, when I talk about segment, that's one component of what we do in our care for our patients. That's what you would think of with the traditional chiropractic approach. Segment means the individual segments of the spine or a possible extremity joint, so shoulder, elbow, wrist, hip, knee, ankle, TMJ, those are all extremities. There's segments throughout the spine. There's 24 vertebrae in the spine and then the sacroiliac joint. So there's multiple joints throughout where a bone can shift, it can misalign, it can get stuck. When that happens, that's called a subluxation. So this is the front, this is the back, bone, disc, bone, nerve in between, spinal cord down the middle. With trauma, the bone shifts and it gets stuck. That fixation is the biggest component of a segmental problem. When that happens, the joint swells up. Over time, the joint will dehydrate and wear out prematurely. The disc will lose water, become desiccated is what it's called. And essentially that will affect the nerve, and that can cause all kinds of problems. numbness, coldness, weakness. It can cause pain, muscle spasm. Lots of things can happen from a subluxation. And also these nerves, they move all throughout the body and they control every single cell, tissue, and organ throughout. Your heart, your lungs, your digestive system ultimately is controlled by those nerves. Those things can be affected as well. That's still a segmental issue. When that segment shifts and misaligns and gets stuck and it's been sitting in that position for a prolonged period, it can change regions of the spine. It can cause the posture to shift and distort. Some of that is because of a compensatory process where the body's trying to prevent being in pain. So you could have a subluxation in the low back and you might shift and lean to the side to essentially open up that side and try to get pressure off that nerve root. That's called an antalgic posture. If you don't fix that in time, all the tissues are going to remodel into that position, and now you're gonna have muscles that are lengthened, others that are shortened, but the ligaments, those structures that connect bone to bone, those are gonna deform, and those are gonna deform long-term and permanently. That's where now someone has a postural distortion or a regional postural problem. So we talked about segment, and a segmental issue can cause and lead to a postural issue, but also an abnormal posture. You're sitting behind a computer for prolonged periods, you're just hanging on your joints like this. That's a dysfunctional posture caused by just not activating certain musculature and having the awareness to sit upright. That postural problem can actually now cause segmental issues. It can cause segments to get restricted and fixated and stuck. So it can go both directions, but ultimately those are two different categories that need to be addressed when we're getting to the root cause of your problem. By simply adjusting the joint, doing traditional chiropractic. In our clinic, we do Gonstead, which is a very specific type of traditional chiropractic, but it's still only going to address the segmental issue. That traditional chiropractic alone is not going to fix the postural problem. Now, there's cases here and there where someone can be shifted like this and we give an adjustment and they become more upright because they were more antalgic. But when there's any sort of prolonged abnormal posture or a curve issue, that's not going to fix predictably and reproducibly with an adjustment alone. That's where something else needs to come into play, and that's traction and exercise. So there you have it. I hope this video helps you better understand why you must address segment, posture, and movement to get the best results possible. And here at Gonstead Spine Wellness, we're the only clinic in the whole country, if not the whole world, that does the Gonstead method of chiropractic for specific analysis and adjusting of the spine, chiropractic biophysics, the most researched method of non-surgical spinal correction on the planet, and functional movement, our Move Now functional movement protocols, which are taught to chiropractors, not just in the United States, but all over the world. And these are methods that we'll develop and refine in our clinic here. So all three of those things are being combined so you can get the best results possible. Thanks for watching. I hope that video was helpful for you. If you'd like to see if you're a candidate for what we do, go ahead and reach out to us. Our number is listed below, and we can schedule you for a complimentary consultation to see if you are a candidate for our care. Video presentation by Meridian Gonstead Spine and Wellness of Meridian, Idaho. Our practice is dedicated to people suffering from neck pain, low back pain, tension headaches, migraine headaches, herniated discs, and leg pain such as sciatic. We have treatment protocols for musculoskeletal aches and pains, joint pain and dysfunction, and whiplash injury. Gonstead Spine Wellness offers a distinctive chiropractic experience. It is the only office in Idaho with digital motion X-ray technology. And this advanced imaging tool, combined with the Gonstead spinal analysis and necessary radiographs, enables precise identification of spinal issues. We provide safe and effective Gonstead adjustments, corrective care through chiropractic biophysics to enhance and sustain proper posture, and a 12-week transformation program. This program includes access to a comprehensive video exercise library for ongoing home support, ensuring long-term health and wellness. Call us at 208-888-6077, where results matter most.